For months, astronomers waited for one image, not a blurry light curve, not another indirect estimate, not another debate built on coma brightness and guesswork. They wanted the nucleus, the real body hiding beneath the glowing cloud around 3I Atlas. They wanted James Webb to photograph the object clearly enough to finally settle the mystery once and for all. But when the image arrived, it did the opposite, because the nucleus was larger than expected, heavier than many models allowed. And yet the object still behaved in ways that belonged to something lighter, stranger, and far harder to classify as a normal comet. What was supposed to close the case only widened it. And now the question is no longer whether 3I Atlas is unusual. The question is this: if size, chemistry, and motion all refuse to agree, what exactly are we looking at? For a long time, the real body of 3I Atlas was hidden behind its own activity. From Earth, astronomers were not truly seeing the nucleus itself, but a bright surrounding coma of gas and dust reflecting sunlight and masking whatever solid object lay underneath. That meant nearly every early estimate of size had to be built indirectly, using brightness models instead of direct observation. And those models naturally favored smaller objects, lighter nuclei, and simpler explanations. James Webb changed that because it could do what visible light telescopes struggled to do. After perihelion, once the object's activity dropped and the coma thinned, Webb's infrared sensitivity allowed scientists to isolate the nucleus far more clearly. For the first time, 3I Atlas was not just a glowing blur wrapped in gas. It became a defined body with measurable properties. And that moment was critical, because once the real nucleus is visible, guessing ends and the hard numbers begin. The moment the new estimate came in, the entire story shifted. Scientists now place the diameter of the nucleus at around 2.6 kilometers, with the possibility that it may approach 3 kilometers. That may not sound dramatic at first, but physically, it changes almost everything. Earlier models had often assumed something closer to 1 kilometer, and that difference is enormous because mass does not rise linearly with diameter. Once an object grows wider, its volume and mass grow much faster. That is why the reaction was so strong. A body close to 3 kilometers across is not just slightly larger than expected. It can be many times heavier than the earlier models assumed. And that means many comfortable explanations suddenly become unstable. Processes that can easily push around a smaller interstellar object now struggle to explain the same behavior in something this massive. In other words, the image did not just reveal the nucleus. It forced scientists to confront a much deeper contradiction. If 3I Atlas is really this heavy, why does it still behave as if it were much lighter? At first glance, the behavior after perihelion looked almost reassuring. Like many comets, 3I Atlas dimmed after passing closest to the Sun, suggesting that its most intense activity might finally be fading. But that calm turned out to be only partial. Careful observations showed repeated pulses in brightness that continued even as the overall activity dropped. These pulses were subtle, but persistent enough to stand out against what should have been a simpler decline. That is where the mystery deepened. If the object were merely shutting down like an ordinary comet, the fading should have made the story easier to read. Instead, it became harder. The pulses did not line up cleanly with the estimated rotation period, which meant simple spinning could not fully explain them. That suggested some deeper internal process was still releasing energy in a delayed or uneven way. In other words, the surface was calming down, but the inside did not seem finished. And that is a very uncomfortable pattern for an object we are supposed to understand as a natural cometary body. Then came the chemistry, and that may be the most unsettling part of all. Using infrared spectroscopy, Webb examined the materials released after perihelion and found a pattern that did not behave like a standard comet. Water vapor became more visible, carbon dioxide dropped, and the chemical balance of the coma began shifting in ways that resisted a single clean explanation. But the real shock came from the metals. Nickel remained unusually strong, while iron, weak or absent earlier, began appearing more clearly later. Yet the ratio between them still stayed far outside what scientists normally see in solar system comets. That matters because nickel and iron are supposed to behave more predictably together. When their balance breaks this badly, researchers are forced into much rarer explanations. And then came the deepest puzzle of all: methane, a hypervolatile molecule that should normally appear early, peak near perihelion, and then fade. But in 3I Atlas, methane was almost absent during the early approach and became more visible only later, after perihelion, as the object cooled. That is the reverse of what the normal thermal story predicts. So now the mystery is no longer just about one strange signal. It is about an object whose size, brightness, chemistry, and behavior all seem to obey a rulebook that only partly overlaps with the one we thought nature was using. This is where the whole mystery becomes much heavier, literally. Because once James Webb revealed a nucleus around 2.6 to nearly 3 kilometers wide, every outgassing event, every brightness pulse, and every non-gravitational push had to be reevaluated. A small nucleus can be nudged, spun, and brightened by ordinary cometary processes without creating too much tension in the model. But a much larger nucleus is different. A larger body means more mass, more inertia, and much more resistance to being pushed around by uneven gas release. That is why this image changed everything. The larger the nucleus became, the less comfortable the old explanations felt. If 3I Atlas is truly this massive, then the jets and pulses should not be influencing the object so easily unless those jets are more powerful, more focused, or more mechanically organized than expected. And that is the part that keeps researchers uneasy. Because once a heavy body still behaves as if it is dynamically light, the question stops being whether the activity is unusual. The question becomes whether the internal structure of the object is far stranger than we assumed from the beginning. One possible answer is that the nucleus is not behaving like a simple, evenly mixed cometary body. Instead, it may be highly layered, with different regions of the surface and subsurface activating at different times depending on solar heating, shadowing, rotation, and internal composition. That would help explain why some volatiles appeared late, why methane seemed delayed, and why the brightness pulses did not line up neatly with a simple spin cycle. In other words, 3I Atlas may not be one chemically consistent object. It may be more like a patchwork body with zones that wake up on completely different schedules. That possibility is deeply unsettling because it makes the nucleus feel less like a normal comet and more like a layered archive. Like a frozen object built from different chapters of material history pressed together into one body, each region responding differently when sunlight reaches it. And if that is true, then James Webb did not just photograph a nucleus. It may have photographed the outer shell of a much more complicated internal machine, one whose chemistry is not synchronized, whose activity is not evenly distributed, and whose behavior cannot be reduced to one clean thermal story. Another reason this discovery is so astonishing is that 3I Atlas did not simply react to the sun in the obvious way. If the object were behaving like a normal comet, the strongest activity from the most volatile compounds should have appeared before or near perihelion when solar heating was most intense. But several signals, especially the methane behavior, seemed delayed, almost as if the object remembered the heat and responded later, after the closest solar passage was already over. That matters because delayed response implies depth. It suggests that heat was traveling inward, activating buried layers only after the surface had already begun to cool. This is the kind of thing that makes the nucleus feel thermally alive in a very uncomfortable way. Not alive biologically, of course, but active like a deep reservoir system, where energy moves inward first and only later triggers release. Like a mountain that stays quiet during the storm and only cracks open after the sky clears. 3I Atlas may be revealing that its most important processes are not happening on the surface at all. They may be happening underneath, on a delay, hidden from ordinary expectation. That may be the most haunting part of all. Everyone wanted the James Webb image to settle the debate. Show the nucleus, measure the size, compare the chemistry, and finally decide what 3I Atlas really is. But the opposite happened. The clearer the nucleus became, the more the contradictions sharpened. The object is bigger than expected, yet still behaves too dynamically. It dims after perihelion, yet keeps pulsing. Its chemistry changes, but not in the order a normal comet should. And the closer we get to the physical truth of the nucleus, the less comfortable the whole classification becomes. That is why this discovery feels so powerful. because James Webb did not simply give us a better photograph. It gave us a more dangerous question. A real body now sits at the center of the mystery, and that body refuses to agree with the story we wanted to tell about it. Like removing the mask from a stranger only to realize the face underneath raises even more questions than the mask ever did, the photographed nucleus of 3I Atlas has turned this from a bright object mystery into a physical contradiction. And contradictions this deep usually mean one thing: we are still missing the real explanation. For a while, many people believed that once James Webb finally photographed the nucleus of 3I Atlas, the story would become simpler. The guesses would end. The contradictions would shrink. The object would settle into a familiar category, maybe unusual, maybe rare, but still understandable. Instead, the opposite happened, because the image revealed a nucleus that was larger and heavier than expected, and that single fact made every other anomaly more disturbing. A body this massive should not be so easy to push around. It should not pulse this way. It should not show chemistry this contradictory. It should not reveal nickel and iron in such an unbalanced pattern, or let methane appear later when it should have shown itself earlier. And yet that is exactly what happened. The better we saw the nucleus, the less the object behaved like the kind of comet we thought we were looking at. That is what makes this discovery feel so unsettling. Not because one thing is strange, but because everything is strange at once. The size is wrong for the dynamics. The chemistry is wrong for the timing. The surface behavior is wrong for the thermal story. The post-perihelion fading looks ordinary until the pulses return and the deeper contradictions rise back to the surface. It is as if every time the object moves closer to becoming understandable, it reveals another layer that pushes it back into mystery. Like opening a sealed chamber and finding not one puzzle inside, but several, each one contradicting the last. 3I Atlas keeps refusing the category we want to place it in. And maybe that is the real meaning of this moment. James Webb did not just photograph a nucleus. It photographed the point where our simple explanation failed. The moment when a real physical body, measured more clearly than ever before, still refused to match the rules we thought governed objects like it. That means the astonishing discovery is not just that the nucleus was seen, it is that even after seeing it, we still do not truly know what it is. So now the question is no longer whether 3I Atlas's nucleus was photographed by James Webb. The real question is this: if the nucleus is finally visible and the contradictions only got worse, what kind of object have we actually been watching this whole time? If you enjoyed this video, drop your theory in the comments below. Do you think 3I Atlas is still a natural interstellar comet with extreme chemistry? Or do you think James Webb has exposed something far harder to explain? And subscribe, because if this nucleus is only the outer shell of the mystery, then what comes next may change everything we think we know about interstellar objects.